Today I'm bringing you guys 3 of the best and 3 of the worst features inside of Diablo Immortal. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo and welcome back to the channel. Remember, if you want more Diablo Immortal every single day, I want you guys to write more Diablo Immortal in the comments section below. Yes, that's you. Yes, that's right now. Let me know down below if you want to see more Diablo Immortal. But more importantly than that, we need to get into the topic at hand, which is what's good and what's not so good inside of Diablo Immortal. As you probably already know, we're currently in the closed alpha, and I don't think we have too much longer with this closed alpha. I think the build is going to be going away in a couple of weeks, so we got to get as much in as we can. And let's be completely honest here, guys. There's going to be a lot more good inside of Diablo Immortal than bad. I may actually struggle to find 3 things that I think are bad or not up to par inside of Diablo Immortal, while I could probably list 10 to 15 things that are good. But I figure I'm going to try and narrow it down to 3 of my favorite things inside of the game, reminding you guys, if you think differently, make sure you let me know. You could do that by letting me know down below or doing anything like that. Comments are cool. I'll see you guys down there. So let's talk about my #1 good thing about Diablo Immortal. Besides it being built incredibly well for an alpha and stuff like that, I love the character classes. Whether you're playing the Crusader, which is my favorite character, or my least favorite being the Wizard, they are all extremely well built and basically prepared for you to have an amazing time playing the game, no matter what gameplay style you have. You could be a tank with a Crusader or a Barbarian. You could be a melee character with some crazy movement with the Monk, or you could be a ranged character with the Demon Hunter or with the Wizard. Remember that Necromancer is to come. It's going to be coming in a few months. Then we can talk more about that because you know I'm going to be frequenting that class. But the #1 has to be just the class diversity and how well and how solid each of the different classes actually are. #2 has to be the old school Diablo feel inside of Diablo Immortal, plus some of the old school features. Not only am I talking about some gameplay sounds that are being reused from Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, which I loved, by the way, because this takes place in between those 2 times in those games, so it should share some of those properties in my opinion. I'm talking about the campaign and the rifts. I feel that they're done really well. This is old school Diablo, right? You go through the campaign, you enjoy the story of the game, and then you go and you run some Elder Rifts, some Challenge Rifts, and you just slay demons, you get gems, and have a great time upgrading your builds. This is what Diablo is about. This is what Diablo has always been about in years past as well, and I think that that's done and put together really nicely here inside of Diablo Immortal. So along with all the new stuff, which we're going to get together with very soon, I think that Blizzard did a nice job really holding on to the essence of Diablo to what it's always been. I think it's done well. They get an A+ for me on that. That was my #2. #3 is the depth inside of the game. It can become overwhelming. It can become a little hard to understand. It can become too much for people that are going to be casual players. Remember, I have put out videos on how to engage in Diablo Immortal if you are a casual player. Everyone doesn't have to play hardcore. Everyone doesn't have to play for hours a day to enjoy the game. But the option is there, and this is where Diablo was taken to a new realm outside of anything that we've seen before. We're talking about PvP, which is to be built out even better than it is. We're talking about the adventurers, the shadows, and we're talking about the immortals. That whole element to the game is completely incredible and is going to bring hundreds, if not thousands of hours of gameplay to many different people playing the game. Now, I would love to say that PvP is one of my favorite things on the list here today as my top 3, but I don't think it's worked out correctly, so I can't say that just yet. But really, call it too much. Call it too much for a casual gamer. Call it overwhelming. I call it depth. I call it something that makes a game live on, because it's not just a campaign and then it's over and then you run rifts for the rest of your life. No, that gets boring. This has more to it. Factions. Now, these factions aren't perfect. I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes, but I do love that element is inside of the game. But hey, off topic, guys, what do you think of my new chair? Isn't she sweet? Straight out from Autonomous. It's comfortable. I sit in it all day. We've built a relationship. Her settings are fitting of my rear and my back and my neck. Autonomous. I love it. But now we've come to that time where I need to talk about the 3 things that are bad, aka need improvement. Remember, we're in the closed alpha. Nothing is set in stone here. Everything can be changed. My number 1, and like I said, it's going to be hard to get to 3. My number 1 is PvP. Right now, PvP is a bit broken inside of Diablo Immortal, and I understand why. I actually put a video out yesterday about this topic. So if you missed it, go check it out, because the video really goes in detail as to what I think the game needs to be a massive exploding success, and that is PvP, right? But not PvP where the biggest grinders in the world or the biggest spenders are going to be able to take all the gear that they've equipped themselves with and take it into battle against people that are brand new. No, I don't think that's fair. Do I think that that has a place in the game? 100% yes. People that grind, people that spend need to be rewarded for that in a PvP arena. But we need to have an arena for people that are just casual players. This is why I brought up the idea of Battle Royale. Right now, PvP is not that great inside of the game, unless if you're one of the top tier people, which is going to be a fraction, a small minority of people that play the game. So I would love to see, I think we need to see a balanced PvP. My opinion would be doing this in a Battle Royale mode. It's the easy way to get it done, where you drop into a world with no gear, no weapons, you farm the environment, basically what you're seeing on the screen right now. Go after enemies, they drop gear, you have a 5-minute period of time to gear up, and then you engage in battles. Or you can engage in battles in the beginning with your fists. That's a thing too. People fight with fists still. It's a good thing. It's just good. But that is one thing that needs to be here. It needs to be fixed. Now, the second thing that I'm really not in love with inside of Diablo Immortal is the Immortal faction and how it's run. Right now, things are very political inside of Diablo Immortal. We've mentioned before that 500 people become immortals and kind of rule the whole server of 20,000 plus people. Now, it's not talked about that much, but 500 of the strongest people in the server are not who the immortals are. Basically, you have a dark house that's going to be the most victorious and get that reign, and then the leaders of that dark house are going to be able to pick and choose who are the other immortals inside of the game. This is government-like. It's building governments inside of the game. This is an idea that I've seen, and it's been done over and over again inside of the kingdom builders that I play. Rise of Kingdoms, State of Survival, Infinity Kingdom. I have countless hours in all of those games, and I'm telling you what, it gets ugly. And you get people that aren't deserving in roles that should not be there, and it gets very ugly. People get upset, people quit the game, and I don't like politics in my games. But right now, as the Immortal faction is run, there are politics. Let's just get straight to the point. I want to see the politics gone. We need to figure out a way to get rid of that nonsense, because if you're in a server, remember, you can't leave a server. Once you're in one, you're in it. If you get a DB, I don't know if you know what that means. Let's just say if you get someone that's not cool in that leader position, they can completely ruin the server for people that are looking to engage in that end game stuff. For adventurers, doesn't matter one way or the other. Play the game like you want in that faction in that way. All you want, you won't ever see anything. But if you're someone playing end game Shadow Immortal gameplay, you're gonna see it. So you have to, it's really reliant on how good the leaders are, how good you're gonna have your sergeant that's running all of the immortals. If they're good, you could have a good, fair experience. If they're not, it could probably get you mad. And the third thing that I don't love inside of Diablo Immortal is the charm system. We're going there right now, and I feel it is just too randomized, because when you upgrade your charms, you get random skill attribute increases. I've done this multiple times on multiple charms, and never have I ever increased my charm to gain another skill for the actual character class that I'm playing. And that's probably by design. It's very annoying. Then you need to extract, you need to imbue, and do all these other things that are just time consuming to try to hopefully roll skills that you're looking to increase. This could take a very long time. This is an end game play, which gives you, little jumps up. Like as you can see right here, draw and quarter in this rank 5 charm is the only skill that got any type of a buff that is relevant to my Crusader. Everything else is just for other classes. So it's really not that good. I upgraded it for literally no reason. So I need to get rid of those things. I need to then try and get better rolls. It's just frustrating. We already have a huge grind to do with gems. Remember, if we're looking for some 5-star gems, it takes 1 more of those gems and 30 other gems to upgrade at 1 level. That's a grind enough in my opinion, especially since some of these 5-star gems that we're gonna want are difficult to find. Now, I'm cool with that. I get it. I get the grind part of it, and that's cool. I just feel charms, the randomization of them, I don't love. And we're trying to do a little bit of imbuing right now, and it was, in my opinion, just a mess. It's a bit confusing. It's all based on luck, and I don't like having to rely on luck to successfully build my optimal build. I want to be able to focus more on actually building something that I want rather than having to cross my fingers. Although the extras you get from your charms are minimal. At the end game, minimal is kind of a big deal. But now listen, guys, I love Diablo Immortal. That has not changed. Does it have things that I think need to be optimized a little bit better or worked on a little bit more? Of course. That's what a closed alpha is for. We're not even in beta yet, guys, and they already have a game out that's going to be a massive success. I've said it before, there's no game better. People say in the comments, well, how about Genshin Impact? And I say, yeah, it's not as good as Diablo Immortal. It just straight up is not. You're gonna know when you actually get to play it yourself. Is Genshin Impact a good game though? Yeah, of course, I actually enjoy it, but nothing compared to Diablo Immortal. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Remember, if you want to see more Diablo Immortal videos, let me see you type more Diablo Immortal in the comments section below. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow with another video, and until then, be good.